we go. The uncertain futures of LeBron James and Darvin Ham were the topics in LA yesterday as the Lakers conducted exit interviews with their players and continued their evaluation of their season. Our buddy Stephen A. Smith on First Take had this to say about the possibility of LeBron joining the Knicks.
Let's not act like if LeBron James was on the New York Knicks, that they would. They go to the finals. They go to the finals. They go to the finals. What? But yes, they would. I'm not one of these typical Cowboy fans. You know, the delusional, disgusting, nauseating fan base. We're going to win the Super Bowl next year, right? Every damn year for the last 29 years, can't even make it to the conference final. I'm not one of those. But the point is, I'm not that delusional. All I'm saying is, you talk about LeBron, LBJ, number 2 all time. That brother in this New York Knicks squad? Please.
So it's an intriguing little conversation, and we kept Damien Woody in it. Can we get a nice tight shot on D. Wood's face here? Because he is our resident crazy. He represents the Laker fans. So when you hear Stephen A. say things like that, well, I'll just ask you this question. Should LeBron be considering leaving the Lakers this year?
Hell no. Like, no. Stephen A., it's just blasphemous what Stephen A. Smith is talking about LeBron. I couldn't even imagine LeBron being anywhere else but purple and gold.
Well, except for all those years he spent in Cleveland and Miami and then Cleveland again.
That doesn't exist to me. Okay, only thing is purple and gold for me.
Let me ask it to you this way. Are we living in a world? LeBron is very likely to opt out of the final year of his contract. There are a million reasons why he might that would not involve him intending to leave there. But once he does, he at least has the option to do it if he wants to. How would you, Zach, as one of my favorite insiders, assess the realistic possibility that he does leave L.A.?
I still think he wants to be in L.A. I've said all along, if he had his druthers, he finished his career as a Laker. They made the conference finals last year. They put up a nice fight against Denver this year. I would bet on him staying, but like you said, the door is always open, and he is very strategic about how he keeps it open to put pressure on the Lakers, say, hey, look, I got this option. If I don't like what you do this summer, if I don't like what you do with your draft picks to trade, you never know what I'm going to do, but I would bet on him staying. I don't know, to be clear, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows, but I bet on him staying.
Is this a Bronny thing? Is this a go out and get me another player thing? Like, what are those are the things that will be factored into this mix, right?
I think it's more, I want to have one last real shot to win it, and we fell too far short this season. Let's get some more new blood in here.
Okay, so, Drea, what do you think?
Well, I was just sitting here because Stephen A. Smith's not entirely wrong. I'm sorry, D-Wood, but if you do think about LeBron James and why the Knicks would be a good option for him, or at least something he would consider, you have an experienced coach. We've already talked about the coaching issues at times when it comes to the Lakers and LeBron and how they feel about that.
Right.
Experienced coach. 3-point shooting. The Knicks are a better 3-point shooting team. Primary consistent ball handler and shot creator in Jalen Brunson. Then Julius Randle, when healthy, you have a presence on the inside. Like, there's a lot to like about the Knicks if you're LeBron. I don't think he's going to go. But Stephen A. Smith, as a huge Knicks fan, he's not entirely off.
No, well, look, you could put LeBron on a lot of teams, and all of a sudden they would become great. He is still an all-NBA caliber player, even though he will be 40 years old. Oh, by the way, the team the Knicks are playing again tonight have $50 million they could spend this offseason. If you put LeBron James on a team with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, that wouldn't look so bad either. But the question is, Tim Legler, in a world in which LeBron does remain in Los Angeles, which again, I should stress, is everyone I've heard from's overwhelming expectation. Is there a move that you could see being out there, Legs, that would put this group into legitimate championship contention?
Oh, man, look, I think here's the difficult part for the Lakers right now. Everything we said about LeBron and AD still being very close to the top of their game is absolutely true. The problem is this. That organization and those two players in particular, they're just not going to have the same importance placed upon the regular season. And as a result, in the Western Conference, it means trying to dig yourself out of these holes, right? They're going to be a play-in-ish team if those guys are back there again next year. And that's just not good enough in the West because you already have Denver to deal with. You also have young teams that are just going to get better in Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and Dallas. All three of those teams with young superstars and a core around them that you know is going to improve. The fringes are going to improve. So I don't know, short of getting some superstar free agent or somebody that demands a trade that comes to LA, which is all hypothetical, I don't know how the Lakers improve the margins of their roster to be able to compete with what the top of the West looks like. That's the problem for LeBron James. His best bet, he wants to win again, honestly, would be to go to one of those teams in the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia, New York, at the top of the list. That would be his best shot because it's a path of least resistance in the Eastern Conference.
That's fair. But again, in a world in which he doesn't do that, give me the name you gave us in the meeting, and it is the name that I've heard a lot out there. Give me a name.
I think they'll look at one of the Hawks guards, whether it's Trae Young or DeJounte Murray.
Trae Young. Can I interest you in Trae Young?
I love the scoring. I hate the defense. He's small.
Trae Young. Trae Young.
No.
Trae Young on the Lakers.
I
No?
don't think it solves enough of the question marks. It's not going to be a big enough jump.
Doesn't
if
it
he wants
help
to win a championship?
all these games, Legs, that they don't win during the regular season because they have no other scoring option besides those guys? Doesn't Trae Young carry them through that? I don't know if he helps them beat Denver, but he might keep them away from Denver in round one. That right there, that seems like an advantage.
That's not enough. That's not enough, Trae Young, because Trae Young is going to get beat up defensively by the guards and the people that he's going to be matched up against in that conference. I don't think he's an efficient enough player. No, maybe that's just my personal opinion and how I view Trae Young and what impact he would have on that team. I don't think that's enough. That wouldn't be the right guy.
Quick final word.
I know we talked about how it would have to be a sign and trade with someone else and another team agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to be a big enough jump with a player like Paul George or Klay Thompson. Would you be interested in?
Well, now we're talking. If they find a way to get Paul George or Klay Thompson, even at this stage of his career,
it has to be that big.
We'll talk more about it as we go.